And hello, we are on. We are not live, but we are recording a new episode of The Pupil's Life. God damn if I am not going to be stopped. It's too early to be saying, welcome everybody to another episode of Pupil's Life. It must be 20 or 21 by now. I'm in my bedroom, staring out a window at traffic and what looks like two homeless people. It's one homeless person carrying a stick over his back with a cape, a black cape, hanging down from the other end of the stick that looks like another person walking next to him. And he's just inching closer to my apartment complex. He's probably gonna hop the fence and meet the rest of his homeless friends or acquaintances in the little crevice between the outside world and my apartment complex, because there is a homeless population living a few yards from my bedroom. And that is Austin, Texas for you. You got the rich and the poor both living in the same few whatever you want to call it, distance. And how's everybody doing? It's a new year. It's been a week now. We're 9 days into this new self. Our new self is finally gonna blossom. Somebody said that at one of my meetings the other day. It's just like, oh my god. I mean, I don't know, it's a good exercise, right? Be empathetic and just listen and don't be judgmental. But the language people use sometimes just makes me cringe, man. It's like, I'm just, I can feel myself wanting to become a flower, but something's just not letting me bloom, and I know I'm ready to bloom. And it's just, man, why do people have to use metaphors to describe themselves, right? Not a fucking flower. You're a woman, and you've got some issues you need to sort out, as does everybody else in this world, and you're gonna sort them out, all right? I'm not sitting here fucking saying like, I perceive myself to be this cactus, right? And I'm really dry, and no, that's the same fucking thing as a flower. I'm just this lockbox, right? And like, I just know like, it's hard for me to open up, but one of these days, the right key is gonna fit into my slot and just jingle me open. I feel ready to jingle open. I feel like my calling is just to jingle, just jingle open for the right person or persons. But I just haven't found the right key. I've found big keys, I've found small keys, I've found clean keys, and I've found rusties. But I've just haven't found the right one for me. Right? Make it a fucking metaphor and a haiku or whatever the fuck that was. That's what's funny about me being a writer, is that you could, I don't know what a sonnet is. I don't know what a vignette consists of, technically. I don't know the technical aspects of a sonnet or a vignette or an ode. I don't know what a lot of, I'm thinking of the Spanish terms for these. God damn it. I don't know a lot of terms and a lot of tools. Like tools, like metaphors and shit like that. Like, I know what a metaphor is, kind of. I know more what a simile is. And I thought they were the same thing for the longest time, but that's what's funny about being a writer, that didn't graduate college. And it's you learn. I think most people learn, if you're passionate enough about something, sometimes that's more than enough to make up for the educational portion, right? Like the informational portion, I should say. I was at a meeting the other day. God, dude. It's like most people at these things are pretty cool, right? I feel like every time I talk about meetings, I'm like, yeah, this fucking idiot, right? Like most people are actually really fucking nice. And this person wasn't mean or anything, but I was talking to this guy, and it came up that we were both interested in literature, right? And he said, "Oh, did you graduate? What did you graduate? Where did you graduate from?" And I said, "Oh, I didn't actually. I did 1 year, and I decided it wasn't for me, and I moved to Austin, and now I'm here." And he said, "Oh, well, have you any plans to go back?" And I said, "No, I do not have any plans to go back. Thank you very much." And he said, "Well, I work in the literary business, and I can tell you one thing: degrees open doors." Degrees open doors. What a fucking pretentious, just like peak pretentiousness thing to say, right? It's like if you're, I don't need to compare it to anything. It just fucking is, dude. Like, degrees open doors should be a fucking slogan from like the Pennsylvania Writers Workshop, right? Or wherever it's, Wyoming or Cincinnati or whatever the fuck that place is, right? Degrees open doors, dude. You know what closes doors? Is saying shit like that. Because it makes the people around you perceive you as a square box that has no room to expand. I mean, I don't need to trash this guy, dude, but it's just fucking... When people say that shit to me, I just immediately lose all interest in further discovering what they have to say. But yeah, dude, degrees open doors. Fucking... It's like, dude, get to know me first. Degrees open doors. That's like... Here I was saying I wasn't gonna compare it to shit, and I'm like, that's like... But it's just like trying to... He's trying to box me into this one thing that he knows, because otherwise, I guess he doesn't know how to interact with me. Like, fucking... I didn't go to college, but I'm not fucking sitting around telling everybody that I see, like, "Oh, dude, dropping out opens doors." Like, fucking... How fucking stupid and selfish would that be for me to say, "Ah, man, I'm really into film, but I'm in my second year of film school right now, and it's really tough, dude, and I don't know. What do you think?" "Oh, well, dropping out opens doors." It's like, dude, just because that is working for me doesn't mean I need to put that on you, It's like Bill Burr. He's always talking about fucking parenting and how, he's talking to other parents, and they're like, "Oh, how old is your little one?" And he's like, "Oh, she's 1 or 2 or however the fuck old." And they're like, "Oh, just wait until she's 3, right?" Like everybody's got this thing that they know better than you do, and they're just like, just wait until you just wait. Just wait until what? Until fucking... Are you hoping for bad shit to happen to me? Degrees open doors. Motherfucker, I don't have one. And I'm not gonna get one. And I just told you that. So rethink what you're saying to me, because the way it comes across is degrees open doors is, I am intelligent enough to understand that you're trying to be helpful and you just don't really know how, and you don't understand that what you're doing is the opposite. But degrees open doors. You're basically saying you made the wrong decision, and you should go back because you're not going to be successful otherwise, right? And maybe part of that is a projection of mine, but I don't fucking think so, dude. I don't fucking think so. Degrees open doors is like saying what you have done to this point, Like, it's basically like saying you are not what you want to be yet because you don't have a degree. And it's like, dude, I bet if we fucking pooled our work, you wouldn't even come close to how much I've written, okay? And I'm not trying to get on my high horse, but I'm sick of all this shit where people are saying, you need this title or this degree or this thing on your name in order for you to be what you want to be, If you're doing what you want to be doing, then you are what Like, if you want to be a fucking filmmaker, you don't need an Oscar to be a filmmaker. You don't need a camera to be a filmmaker. You don't need, you don't need an IMDb title to be a fucking filmmaker. If you're making movies, you're a filmmaker. If you're a comedian and you're telling jokes, you're a fucking comedian, If you're a writer, are you writing? I bet this fucking guy isn't, I bet you this fucking guy isn't writing. And here I am, right? Making all these assumptions about him. Well, fuck it. Maybe it's time, right? Dude, fucking, hey, I don't know. It's just like, you want to talk about triggers, man? If you want to say something, if you want to trigger me, and not in a way that I will, like, trigger in front of you, but just if you want to trigger me internally, just find me on the street and be like, hey, you're Nick, right? Nick Gomez? Yeah, what's up? What do you know me? Who are you? Oh, just, no, nothing, dude. I just, I'm not sure how your day is going, but I just wanted you to know, and whether it's going good, whether it's going bad, I just wanted to say, degrees open doors, man. Degrees open doors. And just walk away, right? And just jog away. I'll fucking talk about you for another 5-10 minutes on this podcast if you do that. And you know what else upsets me, dude? You know what else fucking upsets me? While I'm on that note, you know what else upsets me? I was filling out a form the other day, and it was asking me what my ethnicity was, right? And I'm like, I always get excited when I get to that part because I'm like, ooh, is it gonna let me click 2 of them? Because I'm fucking Caucasian and I'm Latino, Hispanic Latino, right? Is it gonna let me click 2 of them? And I click Caucasian, and then I keep scrolling, and what do I find? Is that there is no Latino. There is no fucking Latino. There isn't a Hispanic either. And you know what else? You know what is there instead? Latinx. Fucking Latinx, dude. Oh my god. Oh my lord, dude. Where do I even start with this? Latinx, right? What are we in fucking Blade Runner? What? Come on, man. It's like, are we that uncomfortable with our fucking humanity that we have to change the word we use to identify ethnicity? Like, God, dude. Oh, man, I don't even, like... And not even that, like... It's fine if you want to call yourself Latinx, but why do you have to take away Latino and Latina? Right? Like, it's like all the fucking movements that are happening today, they're not just trying to make their voice heard, they're trying to suppress other voices too. Right? It's like, well, it's Latinx because we don't identify as male or female, and Latino and Latina are gender roles that we don't believe exist because we're fucking sad people that need some group to belong to, right? And so instead of just being like, hey, we're a little bit sad and we all want to feel like Latinxers. Who else wants to feel like a Latinxer? Like, let's be Latinxers among Latinos and Latinas. They're like, no. Identifying as a Latino and Latina is now wrong. Latinx is the new thing, right? It's like, dude, that's my ethnicity. You don't get to decide what my ethnicity is now just because of some bullshit article you read on US Weekly about how fucking Jennifer Aniston's cousin is Hispanic and he was sad because somebody called him a Latino, right? And he doesn't identify as a man or some bullshit, right? Like, and the funny thing is, dude, this is not happening in Mexico. You know, maybe there is a small group of people, or not even Mexico, but Latin America, dude. You can ask a Latin American, and 99 out of 10 Latin Americans, because they will be, you know, more Latin Americans than you are surveying will be upset enough to come and fucking fill the survey out, you know? So you'll have 99 you'll have 99 out of 10 Latin Americans tell you, what the fuck is Latinx, dude? I've never heard of that. So, you know, what is it? The Latin people that live in the US that are saying they want to be called Latinx? No. You think the guys that I ride the bus with that work in the kitchen at the Marriott and the fucking Hilton and all the hotels and conference centers in Austin, you think that they give a fuck about being Latino or Latina? No, dude, you don't buddy fucking, like, and I don't even know who. I can make assumptions as to who is deciding to make these changes, right? It's people in the arts. It's people in the arts because those are the people that give most fucks about their appearance, right? And so if you're a celebrity and somebody asks you like, oh, do you identify as a Latino, Latina, or Latinx? You know, a lot of people have been talking about how it's gender roles and fucking you know, if you're Jen Aniston, I don't know why I keep fucking saying Jen Aniston, but if you're Jen Aniston and you get asked that, you know, your first thought is not like, what do I actually think about this? Your immediate reaction is going to be, what am I supposed to say so that my career isn't ruined, right? And so you're going to be like, well, you know, I think that gender roles are something of the past, and I think Latinx is the way to go, right? Like, and you have no fucking ties to the ethnicity. And so why the fuck are you even being asked that in the first place? What gives you the right to be like, again, dude, it's not about like putting down Latinx. I'm all for it. You know, fucking, you know how, probably a lot of you don't fucking know this, but in Spanish, dude, well, no, yeah, you know how like, yeah, in Spanish, the whole fucking language is built around masculine and feminine, right? And so what are you're gonna change the whole fucking language? For what? Dude, who is getting so upset at these things? Like, I wanna know how, like, I didn't even know that this Latinx thing was a thing. Like, you fucking, God, dude. But you know how, like, in Spanish, there's, just let's use Latino for a fucking example, but there's a survey, right? And it'll say Latino, and it'll have an A in parentheses. Or it'll say Latina, and it'll have an O in parentheses. Not very often, because fucking Mexicans are machistas, and they would rather have the fucking masculine first. which is maybe the issue you should tackle instead of this fucking gender non-fucking binary shit. And so you have that Latino, Latina. You have fucking just the whole. Of course, I can't fucking think of anything right now. Niño, niña, fucking not even just that, dude, but like la silla is fucking the chair, you know, and el sillón is the fucking couch. So it's not even fixing anything, dude. Like, these things are not saying that this is a man and this is a woman, and you know, it's like brainwashing, dude. They want to brainwash future generations by making them believe that shit is more important than it really is. So what are you gonna say? Looks silla? Fucking try and get through the world doing that. Looks silla. Ixel sillón. Fucking dude. Fuck. This makes me so upset, dude. Like, and I don't know why, right? When I filled out the form, it made me upset, and I was like, dude, who gives a fuck? Just, you know, nobody actually gives a shit about this. It's just this select group of people that are trying to virtue signal and yabbity fucking yaddy. Just let it go, dude. But it's like, no, dude. Because they preach all this bullshit about equality and, we're nonconformists and then, where is Latino? Where is Latina? I am a fucking Latino. I'm cool with Latinx, dude, but I'm not a fucking Latinx. I'm a Latino, dude. So what the fuck? You know? Now I don't have you took my ethnicity away from me. You made up an ethnicity and you took my ethnicity away from me. Right? And it's like, dude, that's all I'm going to say about it, but it's just, you know, if you're one of these people that's like that's pushing, you know, Latinx, the new ethnicity. Yeah, sign up. Even if you're not a fucking Latin person or a Hispanic, you know, just think about what you're actually doing. You know, I think a lot of these people just jump on a bandwagon. They're like, "Oh, Latinx, yeah." Didn't somebody else mentioned Latinx? It's that thing, right? It's like, we shouldn't be saying Latino or Latina. Oh, sorry, I said it. We shouldn't be saying those words because the gender roles aren't real. They're made up, right? So it's Latinx I should be saying now? And they're like, yeah, Brittany, it's Latinx, okay? Just fucking get with the program. It's just like, just because she doesn't want to upset people, she doesn't even put a thought, or he, you know, fucking, people will find any reason to get upset, including me. Look at me right now. I'm upset. And it's fine, dude. Everybody should be more comfortable with getting upset. Everybody should be more comfortable with being uncomfortable, because then we wouldn't have a need to make up all this bullshit and fight about it, right? If you can, I don't know, dude. But just think about it, you know? You can have your cake, but you don't have to eat mine too. All right? You can eat yours and let me have mine, dude. Fucking A, man. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy when you just it's crazy when you know, like, you're upset. I guess it's trying to rationalize your way out of feeling, right? Cuz, like, dude, this made me upset. Just fucking be upset and it'll pass, right? But I got upset and I was like, dude, this isn't worth getting upset over, right? It's like, well, who made you the fucking king of what's worth getting upset and what's not worth getting upset over? Like, your body is telling you, or your fucking heart, or whatever your emotions come from, is telling you that this upset you. Just go with it. Stop trying to fight it. But yeah, man. And maybe that's not the only reason I'm angry. Maybe something happened on motherfucking Sunday when I fell off my bike or fell with my bike and I smacked my fucking head on the ground. Maybe my neurons are rearranging themselves. Maybe it's the brain trauma speaking. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. That's my fucking new year. I started it off. I wrote this eloquent fucking, oh, dude, 2019. I did one of those bullshit posts where you're like talking about how great your year was and how great this new year is going to be, right? Like, who are you trying to convince? Who am I trying to convince? But I did one of them, and and yeah, I'm like, oh, there's so much I'm looking forward to, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then Sunday rolls around, and I'm at work, right? I go into work upset, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna talk to some people about some things that are going on at work, and just so that these things can be addressed. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but just talk about it, talk through it. And I got angry. This is the serious part of the podcast, by the way. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I don't want to upset anybody. So if talking about emotions makes you uncomfortable, then now is the time for you to turn this off and go fucking jerk off while you watch yourself in the mirror and think about how great you are. I go into work, dude, and I'm like, I get angry because I guess that's something I do to avoid things, whether that's feeling my emotions or solving conflict or, getting shit done. I find reasons to get angry instead. So I did that. I work the whole shift, I'm pretty upset the whole shift. And then I leave work and I don't have a conversation with the person that I wanted to have the conversation with. And I'm walking to my bike. I'm still fuming, and I'm thinking like, dude, just take a moment, before you get on your bike. Just take a breather. Just sit down and just breathe for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Just something needs to happen before you get on your bike because you're not thinking straight. You're pretty upset, dude. It's not good to ride. It's not good to drive when you're upset, right? And you're in a 50-ton vehicle that is protecting you. If you're riding a bicycle, you're going to get upset because people don't respect you. And so you need to be even, you need not to be just at a neutral. You need to be, happy to ride a bike, So that can happen, and then you can get to a neutral point where, you're happy and you're fucking dancing as you're riding your bike, and somebody almost kills you, and you're like, whew, dude, that was upsetting, but I'm still alive, right? And, I get you stop dancing, but you're like, all right, man, just move past it. So I didn't do that because just the anger in me was like, nah, dude, fuck it. You've been angry for 7 hours. Just get home so that you can not be here anymore. And yeah, my ego got the best of me. So I get on my bike, I put my fucking earphones in, play some music, and I'm riding home. And I feel, my grip is tighter on the handlebars than it usually is. I'm just, I'm more upset. I can tell I'm more upset than usual. And I get to this part on my route, and there's where there's a gravelly sort of dirt road path, and there's a bunch of people out jogging. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. People are jogging by the river, dogs. It's like a movie. And, it's like stock footage of a scene from Friends when they go on vacation to the Bahamas or something. And and I'm riding and I'm trying to weave through people, right? Instead of slowing down, I'm just like, no, dude, I can fucking weave through people. I'm Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that fucking Bike Messenger movie. And as I'm trying to weave through this one couple, I just lost control of the bike, smacked my whole left side of my body, dragged I broke the fall with my left hand and dragged it 6 feet on the gravel, as well as my ankle. The whole weight of the bicycle and my whole other side of my body was pressing down on my left body as I was just sliding through gravel. And as I was going down, I was just thinking, like, I am not ruining, but like, what are all of these people around me gonna think, right? He was going too fast. He was reckless. Fuck bikers. Fucking blah blah blah. And then I open my eyes, and I get up, right, because I'm just like, fucking brush it off, dude. Just move on. Get fucking home. But I'm like clearly in too much pain to do that. And so I'm just like, all right. I lie back down, close my eyes. I'm like, there's no rush, dude. Shit boiled, and the lid just blew off. The best you can do right now is just lie down for a second and take the breather you needed to take 15 minutes ago. So I do that, and then I hear somebody walk up to me and say, hey man, are you all right? And I just like give him a thumbs up, right? Because I'm just leave me the fuck alone, right? Life is too much for me right now. Leave me alone. Just thumbs up him. And he's like, are you sure you're okay? Do you need to go to a clinic? Do you need help getting up? I open my eyes, and his hand is extended down to me, right? Like Christ's savior. And so I'm like, dude, okay. I grab his hand. He lifts me up. He's like, maybe you should go sit by the water. I look at my hand, and I look away immediately because I'm like, oh, no, thank you. That image is too much for me right now. And then I'm like, yeah, dude, maybe I should go sit by the water. And he's like, are you okay? Like, what happened? How are you feeling? What hurts? Do you need to go to a clinic? And I'm like, no. I can't think of the fucking word, right? I'm trying to say, like, I think it's just a bad scrape and some bruising. But I can't think of the fucking word. And he's like, it's okay. You hit your head pretty hard. It's a good thing you were wearing your helmet. Do you need some water, right? And I'm thinking, like, dude, this guy's just trying to find a way out, and it's my job to give it to him, right? Like, I'm bleeding from my hand. There are pebbles lodged into my skin. My ankle hurts like a rabid dog just bit part of it off. And I hit my head pretty hard, so my neck's stiff, and my head kind of hurts a little bit. And I am so preoccupied thinking about this other person who I have no reference or context for, who was trying to help me. And I'm there thinking, like, that his well-being and his feelings matter more than my injury does. Like, how fucking deep does the trauma run that I can't even exercise self-care in that moment, right? And so I'm standing there and I'm thinking, like, I want to go sit by the water, but I feel obligated to stay with this person until they kind of figure out what they're going to do. Caretaking, dude. That's what it fucking boils down to. But I guess my pain got the best of me, so I was like, dude, I need to just at least sit down, and I don't want to sit down on the dirt again. So I just said, like, I'm going to go sit by the water. Thank you. I walk away, and as I'm walking away, I think, like, this dude must think I'm a fucking asshole, you know? Damn, bro, I fucking help you up, and you're just going to walk away from me, right? Like, that's how corrupted my thoughts were in that moment, is that I was thinking, this person who just saw me have an accident and hurt myself is now going to think I'm an asshole because I'm not taking care of them, right? Like, It doesn't even make sense, dude. But it's just trauma reenacting itself. And so I go sit by the water, dude. I put my head in my shirt and I just burst into tears. It just got to be too much. And you know, I think this is, it's just from books that I've read, you know, and from spending a lot of time indoors writing and reading just by yourself, like isolated. I think these are thoughts that naturally happen when you isolate yourself. But, you know, over the last 6 or 7 months, there has been this kind of underlying thought in my head of like, dude, what if I fucking lose my mind one day? And like that guy that was talking about Coney or whatever, right? That African ringleader or whatever. What if, like him, the guy that just ran out on the street naked one day in like San Francisco because he had a mental breakdown? You know, I think, dude, that's gonna happen to me one day. Water is boiling right now. I'm not letting off steam. One day it's gonna catch up to me and I'm just gonna fucking have a breakdown. And so I start fucking bawling my eyes out, dude. I cover my face because I'm like, I don't want people to see me crying. But I was thinking, I wasn't even being, I guess I wasn't even being empathetic with myself. Because I'm crying there and I'm thinking about shit that isn't even relevant. You know, I'm thinking about my ex-girlfriend. I'm thinking about my family and how, like, how much I wish that I had that I didn't have, get from them, I guess, and still don't, and just all these things, right? Like me, and then I was also thinking, like, dude, look at you, you're sitting by the side of the river, and there's a bunch of people that are all better off than you are, and you're fucking bawling your eyes out in public, right? Like, it became very existential, I guess. Like, almost like I was having that breakdown in that moment. And just being hard on myself. Just being very critical of, like, how I ended up there. And it's, you know, like, fucking accidents happen. And you can't control everything that happens to you. And right, that's not to say that you're a victim. Like, I could have taken my fucking breather, but, you know, I could have done a lot of shit, but accidents happen, you know? Be kind to yourself. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, dude, how did it get to the point where I'm fucking crying, bleeding from my hand and my ankle, a little fogged in the head, just fucking crying heavily, dude, into my shirt, unsure of how I'm gonna get home. Because I can barely put any weight on my left foot. And then the beautiful part of the story happened. The beautiful part of the story happened, which is that I follow this guy on Instagram. I read his book too. His name is David Goggins. And he's like a Navy SEAL, or was a Navy SEAL, a fucking just one of those incredible human beings that you're like, in awe of everything that they do. And I remembered, like, dude, this guy fucking broke his leg during a marathon and continued the race until the finish line with a broken leg. He ran on a broken leg just out of sheer will. Be more like David Goggins in this moment. If only in this moment, just be more like David Goggins. Can you get up? First question. And I tried to get up. I can get up. Is your bike, can you still ride your bike? Like, did you get a flat? What's the damage on the bike? Seems like it just got scraped up. All right. Can you ride your bike? I'm not sure. All right. Can you walk with your bike? I can limp. Okay. Limp. So I fucking limp for 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm passing by one of my buddy's apartment complex. A buddy of mine that I used to smoke marijuana with very, very frequently. And I'm thinking, you know, dude, how fucking great would it be if I just hit him up right now? I'm like, hey man, I just had an accident. Do you want to spark up? Right? Just smoke some weed. My physical pain would all go away. And I'm sure that all my other problems would go away too, right? At least temporarily. And just like that was what I wanted the most in that moment, was just lock my bike, limp up the stairs, sit on his couch, smoke a blunt, and just put everything off, right? Avoid everything. But be more like David Goggins, dude. Just keep going, just fucking get home. Eventually I was able to ride my bike again, and I got home. And I realized, dude, like this whole thing, like, was about more than just my willpower or be more like David Goggins, like blah blah. It's that I use anger to avoid other emotions. I use anger to avoid. I said this already. I think I use anger to avoid conflict resolution, confrontations, communication. Anger is like my main emotion. It's so easy for me to feel angry. As uncomfortable as it feels, it is much easier to feel angry because I can then rationalize like why I'm angry and why these people are making me angry, or why this situation worked out in this way to make me angry, right? Anger allows me to be a victim and to be frustrated at the victimizers or perpetrators. I don't know what the word is. And I talked about this at both of my meetings, and that's the one thing though, is like I talk about these things and then it's like what now, right? Like, okay, well, maybe be aware of it next time. And like, I was aware of it this time, dude, but my anger still overruled the what I should have done or what I wanted to do. And so I'm still figuring that out. I'm still figuring that out, but I'm grateful that the injuries weren't worse, because they could have been, dude. Had I not been wearing a helmet, I was probably going to lose consciousness, end up in the hospital, and maybe there goes the rest of my life. Fucking medical bills, and yeah, like it could have been a lot worse, right? And it's all relative. Like, still, it sucked, but at the end of the day, I learned something from it, and so it wasn't a failure, right? That's the one thing you got to remember all the time, is like, shit is not necessarily bad just because it didn't go the way that you planned for it to or the way that you wanted it to. But yeah, that's what I've been fucking dealing with. I had to call out from work one day, and just I can barely put shoes on. Like, I put a shoe on, dude, it felt like somebody was twisting my fucking ankle to the point where it was gonna break. You know how people can hold your arm behind your back in a certain way where, like, one little slight movement feels like, whoa, you're gonna fucking break it, dude. Chill the fuck out. Like, that's how putting a shoe on feels. Is like my arm is gonna, not my arm, my fucking ankle just cannot go that far. It cannot flex enough to put a shoe on. And so maybe that's just a sprain. Maybe it means I've got some internal damage that I need to check out, and probably won't, because I take after my dad, who thinks that the doctor is the reason he is sick. That's my background, right? I have a father who thinks that going to the doctor is what makes him sick. And yeah, I don't need to talk about the rest of my family, but yeah, dude, it's a good start to the new year, right? It's an accident, but it's also like, oh, dude, I already overcame something, I am putting myself out there, and I failed, dude. I fucking failed because I'm riding my bicycle and I'm going to work. There's a lot of people that are like, dude, I can't go to work. I'm just gonna claim unemployment. Or that's a reach, but yeah, that's the thing, is that you got to understand, if you're gonna participate in life, things are gonna happen that you might not like. Okay, and if you're like me and anger is your main fucking emotion, more things than you would like to happen, more things that you don't want to happen or that you don't like are going to happen. Because if you're always at a 6, smaller things that other people could brush off are going to push you to an 8 or a 9, and bad things are going to happen. But, I'm fine, dude. I don't think that there's any brain damage. And I'm moving on, right? Getting upset about Latinxers. And what else, man? What else is going on? I watched the Golden Globes. Actually, I didn't. I don't even know why I said that. That's what YouTube has gotten. That's how far it's gotten to the point with YouTube, is that I love how sometimes I just act like what I said makes sense, right? That's how far YouTube's gotten to the point, like, that's how far the point has gotten to where the YouTube is like, what am I even... See, I'm not, like... That's why I'm a writer. I'm not a fucking speaker, dude. So if you're listening to this and you're like, he doesn't know what he's doing, it's like, yeah, you fucking... I don't, dude. So why are you criticizing me? I'm learning how to, okay? Fucking what? The Golden Globes. Yeah, I didn't watch them. I watched a couple clips of them on YouTube. And so I guess that feels like I watched them, right? And what's new, right? I don't even need to talk about it, People are upset about some jokes that were said. All right, like, this is a 10th fucking year. Like, didn't we knew this was going to happen. People are upset because fucking Joaquin Phoenix said the F word. And it's like, we're trying to police language. What's new? Like, it seems like every problem that we run into in today's world, at least in the U.S., is language related, right? And I think if we just let people be who they are and focused on ourselves, the world would be a whole lot better. Isn't that what Brad Pitt said at the end of his fucking speech? It's like something like that, right? He's like, if you see somebody that needs an act of kindness, maybe be kind to them. They might need it. Thank you. And it's like, which, by the way, I mean, that fucking guy, God, dude. I mean, yeah, dude. If I can look like that when I'm 50, what else do I need, right? I don't, dude. You start talking about the Golden Globes, and all of a sudden you become vain, right? Like, I don't even care about my looks. I wear sweatpants and raggedy ass t-shirts most days. Why am I thinking that I give a fuck if I look like Brad Pitt when I'm 50? Dude, that's not what I'm going to look like. I'm probably going to look like The Machinist and die when I'm 53, right? Because of stress. Yeah, man, that's what's going on with me. And I hope your new year has been off to a better start. But at the same time, I hope that you're being tested. I hope that you're being challenged. And I hope that you're gaining some kind of knowledge, I guess, in the new year. Because if 2020 is not going to fix you, dude, if 2020 is not the year that you're going to like finally get on board with emotions, then I don't know what to say, It's going to get to a point for you where you're going to be too far back, and the world's going to be like, emotions, dude, that was 2020. Like, we've moved past that. You want us to help you with emotions? Like, what do you want? You want Windows 97 too? You want us to give you a CD-ROM so that you can download Windows 97? Maybe we can give you a tutorial on emotions on a CD-ROM that has Windows 97 installed. So yeah, people, thank you for listening, and give this show a thumbs up, fucking rate it on iTunes, do all that fun stuff, share it with people if you know of anybody that would like to hear a crazy 24-year-old just talk about shit that most people are uncomfortable listening to, which is another thing, dude. Oh yeah, I'm not even done. You want to talk about language and Latinx and fucking gender and all this bullshit, dude? What about the word crazy? Why can't we make, that's one thing that I would kind of be okay with, is like, we can't say crazy anymore because it's offensive to people struggling with their mental health, right? But in the US, mental health is a myth because we don't believe in it. Suck it up. Just fucking do more, right? Get over it. And yeah, what about the people who are offended by us saying crazy every other fucking word that we say? It's like, how many times a day do you hear the word crazy? You're walking down the street and there's a homeless person pretending to play the trumpet, right? Just and you're like, oh, don't talk to that crazy guy. Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. Maurice, don't fucking talk to him. Don't give him $1. He's crazy. Don't roll down the window. Maurice, don't roll down the window. He's crazy. You don't know what he can do. He's crazy. And it's like, yeah, dude. You never know when you might get there. I'm sure that fucking guy on the street that's playing the trumpet or the drums and thinks he's like with Miles Davis, he wasn't always like that, dude. And what happened to get him there? We don't know. Maybe he lost his job and shit got too much. Maybe he had a bike accident, right? And he wept by the side of the river too. But things just got to be too much for him. And so yeah, maybe we should stop saying crazy. I'm triggered by the word crazy because my entire fucking community has mental health struggles, and every time that you say the word crazy, it reminds me of them, and that makes me uncomfortable. And that is the fucking podcast.